you can post me the lesson when we are done, right?
Yeah. Okay, you're live. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're joining, any part of the world. I hope you're excited. I'm excited to have you here. I've been waiting for this webinar like forever. I'm more excited than you. So welcome. If you're just joining, tell us where you're joining from. Write your name in the comments. Give us an emoji. Tell us where you're joining from. I will be waiting for your comments. So my name is Shei. I'm joining from Ontario, Canada. It's 2 p.m. in Ontario. The weather is nice. So where are you joining from? Tell us. Tell us. And then don't forget to invite your friends, share it, share the link so that more people can join. Today is going to be very exciting, so I don't want you to miss it, and I don't want anybody that you know to miss it. So go ahead and please invite people. We're going to start soon. Okay. I can see your comments. Yeah, David from Lagos, Aneke from Enugu, Kenneth joining from Ghana. Kenneth, I think I spoke to Kenneth today. Kenneth joining from Ghana. Kelly from Asaba. Kende from Nigeria. Some of these names I know already. Hey, you guys, thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so here we go. So like I said before, my name is Shei Obasi. If you don't know me, but if you know me, you know me. Like, I am the creator of the Niger to Canada JAPA system. This is a step-by-step guide that helps people who want to study in Canada. This year alone, we have almost 250 people who have successfully used the Canada JAPA system to get their visas approved. No joke. It's a simple step-by-step guide. We'll hold you by the hand, tell you what to do from getting admission to submitting your visa application, whether it's for yourself or yourself and your family. We've got your back, okay? We got lots of testimonials. If somebody invited you to this webinar, you can tell them to send you the list of our testimonials. We have videos, we have people who have sent their pictures from the airport, we have people who have sent their pictures of their visas. So many testimonials, all sorts, people from Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, South Africa, all over the world. So this Canada JAPA system can be used by anybody all over the world. So if you are thinking of becoming a permanent resident, you can use the study route to do so, and you can get the Canada JAPA system. So today we're talking about the mistakes that you can make, mistakes that you should avoid. Now, these are common hidden mistakes that you should avoid before and after you come to study in Canada. So lots of us are coming to study in Canada, and a lot of people are making certain mistakes. It's painful to see people making the same mistake over and over and over again. And a lot of these mistakes, we address it in the Canada JAPA system, but some people will buy it and they won't go through it. Some people will go through it and they won't realize these mistakes. Some people will know the mistakes, but they will still make it, yeah, for reasons best known to them. So we want to talk about the mistakes, how you can avoid them, so that you can increase your chances of getting your visa approved the first time. The aim is to get it approved the first time. So you're not applying over and over again. It's psychologically depressing. You're spending more money and wasting time if you're applying over and over again. So I'm excited today because we have a guest. You can see that I'm not alone, right? We have a guest with us. I'm excited to have her because she has a very marvelous story. And she will introduce herself, but it may interest you to know that she just came to Canada as well to study with her family. So she's a student, an international student like many of you who are here want to be. She has an amazing testimonial. She has lots of insights as well in terms of her own experience, yeah? So this is somebody that you want to take note of and that you want to listen to. So I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself. So take it.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. My name is Ifoma. I am in Calgary, Alberta. Right now in Alberta, it's 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm an international student. I'm doing my master's in leadership in Ambrose University, Calgary. I relocated to Canada January 2023 with my family. I have 4 kids, the kids and my husband and I. So we're a family of 6. It's been an amazing journey. It's been an amazing story. And just stay tuned as I share some of my experience. I hope someone takes it up from there. I hope someone takes this information and is useful for you. Some of your questions, we'll be answering it here online as we share some of these experiences and some of the mistakes that we make when we come in and before we come in here. Is there are a lot of them, but I believe I and Shay will be sharing just a few because of time and all that. So I have a Facebook page, Real Oma. You can go to our Facebook page. We'll have detailed information of how I jackpot from Niger to Canada this year. So stay tuned for us as we continue the program.
Great. So that's Ifeoma, like she said, you need to keep an eye on her. So this is how we're going to move. Now we have collected some of the common mistakes and errors that people make, and I've categorized them into mistakes you make before you come to study in Canada, mistakes you make even after you come to study in Canada. So there are mistakes that people even make after they have come to study in Canada. And I need to also stress that this information is just for education and information purposes. Okay. So we're not giving you immigration advice. If you want immigration advice, go to the Canada website, is canada.ca. Every information you need about immigrating to Canada is there, okay? So we're going to talk about some of these mistakes in their categories, and if I'm going to discuss it for about, 20 minutes or so, and we're going to give 10 minutes for you to send in your questions regarding what we just talked about, yeah? So we'll talk about 20 minutes, talk about those mistakes, and then you ask your question. So the mistakes are categorized into mistakes you make before, mistakes you make after. And I want to say that for you to ask your questions, you need to be subscribed. So subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up to this video, like the video, and share, yeah? So that's how you'll be able to ask questions. So the first mistake that people make when they want to come and study in Canada that I have here is that they choose either a wrong program to study, or they choose a program that is not in line with their background or is lower than the program that they already have. So people come to study and they come to study and they choose a school that is a DLI, but is not PGWP eligible. Yeah, so in Canada, when you come to study, you need to choose a DLI. So a DLI is a school that is authorized to bring in international students. But beyond a DLI, you also need to apply to a school that is PGWP eligible, which means that that school, if you go to that school, you can apply for post-graduation work permits that enables you to work in Canada and stay back and get to be a permanent resident. Because that's why you're coming here, as you want to be permanent resident. Yeah, so Ifeoma, can you add something to that? I know a lot of people make that mistake.
Yeah, it's a mistake that a lot of people make. And for those of you that are still going for your admission, is something you need to take note of. Because when you come in with a school that will not be able to give you PGW, that is postgraduate work permit, that means when you finish your school, you are saying that you want to go back to Nigeria, you want to go back to Ghana, or whichever country you are coming from, to go and continue your lifestyle. Like all of us will say in our letter when we are writing to the embassy, oh, you're studying this course to go back to your country and contribute and all of that. So when you go to school and the school is not going to give you PGW, that means you are finishing school and you're going back to your country. So we need to take note of this. You need to really ask questions. And like I will say on my own channel, on my videos, that the schools here are not like schools back home. When you're going for your admission and they've given you an admission officer when you're processing your admission, you have a right to ask them question and question and question. And the truth is that the schools here will hardly lie to you. They will tell you exactly how it is. So you have a right to ask them, will I get open work permit when I finish school? Will you give me open work? They will tell you if the school is eligible or not. So it's something we need to keep a very close. It's for me, it's very, very important, because nobody wants to finish spending the money here, and then after spending, someone is telling you to go back home and now reapply or do something. And then of course, the wrong courses, Sheyi talked about it. Maybe she'll still throw more light on it. For me, choosing a wrong program and all that, these are very, very important, because when you choose a wrong program, like I'll tell you, it's difficult for you to write your SOP to the embassy, because you have to connect. One thing is to get admission in Canada. Another very important thing is to get a visa. School cannot give you visa. School has given you admission. That's where they stop. That's where their strength stop. It's left for the embassy to look at the course you have chosen. Why did you choose this course? What's the link? What have you been doing? How did you connect to this course? For example, you have studied microbiology. Like, I'll use my case as a typical example for you. I studied microbiology first degree in Abia State University. And then in my master's, I'm doing leadership, right? They are two different things. Leadership in children ministry. They are two different things. But the reason why I chose this course is because I haven't worked as a microbiologist after I graduated. I entered completely into children ministry, right? So over 12 years, I've been in children ministry. And of course, here they value your experience even more than school. So when I wrote my SOP, I have done a lot of voluntary work in children ministry, evangelism, and all whatnot. I have a lot of pictures, evidence. I have a lot of certificates, awards that I've gotten, back home doing this job. So this is what I used to tell them. Oh, I have, so for me, it's like I have like an NGO, though unregistered, but I have a lot of picture evidence, the outreaches with children and all not. So by the time I put those pictures together and the awards I got doing this job and all that, it was very okay to convince the visa officer that, look, I don't need to do microbiology. This is where I've been in the last 12 years. And because I've gained enough experience here, it is very okay for me to go in, study this course and get more experience so that I'll be able to continue what I'm doing back home. So you need to relate whatever course you're going to study. Is either you continue with the course you studied in your first degree or you're switching course. What is the reason why you are switching course? So these things need to be laid down on the table and you clearly state it for the visa officer. Yeah, Shay, you can take it off from there.
Okay. So one thing I want to point out is that just because a school is a DLI doesn't mean it has post-graduation work permit eligible. A lot of people make that mistake. They just think, oh, the school is a DLI, it means it's PGWP eligible. It is not, yeah? And then another thing that Ifeoma talked about, I want to point out is that, yes, just because you did a program in your undergraduate doesn't mean that you must do that program in postgraduate, yeah? What I always say is do a program that is in line with your background. It must be in line with your background. You could have studied engineering, but now you are a business manager, you're a businessman. You can do business management. You don't have to go and do engineering. You show the visa officer that for the past, 4 or 5 years or more, I've been doing business. This is where my passion is, and I want to learn how to do my business better. That is how to do it. Another mistake people make when it comes to this is doing a program that is lower than what they've done. So I see people who have done bachelor's, some of them have even done PGWP, but they go and do a diploma. Come to me and like, why do you choose a diploma? They say because it's easy, it's cheaper. Like, that's not a good reason for you to give for studying a program. No visa officer is going to be convinced by you saying it's cheaper or it's easy and all that. And on this channel, I have a video titled, I think, the 6 worst programs to study as an international student. I think you should search and watch that video so you can see 6 of the programs that you should not do as an international student. So the second mistake is finances. Finances is a big headache to many people who want to come and study in Canada. It's a big problem. Yeah. The mistake I know that people do for finances, which is your proof of funds, is that they don't start on time. Now, some people will get admission in January. In May, they're asking you, how are we doing the proof of funds? seen the proof of funds. You should have sorted out proof of funds while you were getting admission. You should have sorted out proof of funds before you got admission, yeah? And that's why people now start having this lump sum deposit issues, yeah? They put lump sum in their account because they borrowed money, or somebody in the bank has told them, okay, we can give you money, we can give you 10 million, we'll put the money in your account, but there's no explanation. Do you understand? They don't even have a business or a job that can warrant them having that amount of money, yeah? So it now becomes a problem, because the visa officer now sees it as, okay, what's the source of this fund? They cannot explain what the source of the fund is. So first of all, you need to have an understanding that you need to start on time. You need to know how much you need. So how much you need is your tuition and your 1 year of living expenses. The visa officer wants to see that money, koro, your tuition and 1 year of living expenses, which is 10,000 Canadian dollars, plus 1 year of your tuition. If you're coming with family members, 4,000 for the first family member, 3,000 for every other person. So if you have a husband or a wife and 2 children, that's 10,000, that's 433, 10,000. I'm breaking it down so that you can understand. A lot of people always ask, 10,000 for yourself, 10,000 for them, 433, and then your tuition for 1 year. That money must be available. Now, if you're studying more than 1 year, you have to also show how the rest of the year will be paid, yeah? If you are self-sponsored, you have to show money for all the years that you study. A lot of people struggle with this, but it's a complete truth, because if you don't have anybody back home or a business or a job that is giving you money and will continue to give you money, you have to show proof of funds for all your studies. Okay, so I'm going to let Ifeoma chime in here, and after she's done, we'll take some questions as well.
Okay, for the proof of fund, I get a lot of messages on my channel. We are making so much mistake when it comes to proof of fund. I have one of my classmates apply for the family recently. I gave him a lot of tips, but because he's here, he feels that, oh, you know, they will not reject the visa. When you're here and you don't do the right thing, the visa will be rejected. And I asked him when they rejected the visa, I said, can you get the GCMS notes? Because I know definitely it's because of finances. Now you're going to apply for visa and you've got admission. Like Shay said, you are not prepared. Your account is not saying you want to apply for visa. And then all of a sudden you're bringing in 10 million into your account in 2 months' time. And then your accounts have never seen a 10 million naira for the first time. So this is the first time this account is seeing 10 million. And you expect the visa officer, like I'll say over and over again, these are human beings. So when you're applying for your visa, one of the things I did when I was applying for my visa is to ask myself every question, like I was to myself a visa officer, right? How would this thing play in your own ears? Is it playing well? Is it sounding okay? That you look at an account that, oh, this account has not seen 5 million before, and now this account has seen 20 million in 1 week. How do you explain that? So immediately they know that, oh, you have made up this, or you have borrowed this money is not available for you, because the essence of the whole thing they are doing is to see that this money is available for you to pay your fees when you get into Canada. They don't want you to get stranded here, because of course they know that you are limited in work. For those students that are within 20 hours cap, 20 hours cannot make you pay your rent, feed yourself, and then be able to pay your tuition fee in just few months. And they are not like our back home where they have strike and you said there are uncertainties most times, but the way your school schedule is before you came in, it will definitely, unless in terms of maybe something like COVID that happened, these are the things that can be, they already have their things planned out. So there is no strike, there is no this that will make you not to graduate at the airport. So they look at the time you have to work and make this money. So we need to go back, when even before you get your admission, start arranging your account, start building up this account. Let this account, let the money come in, go out, start building account. And then for those of you that use third party, you need to explain about this. If you're using a third party, the third party needs to give you every backing. If the third party cannot pay the money into your account, for me, I would prefer, if it's a third party that trusts you, let the third party pay in the money in your account. Because at a certain stage of your life as an adult, they are looking at you. You are a mother, and then you can't sponsor yourself and you say you've been working over the years. Do you understand? And then you're having your brother sponsor you. If your husband is sponsoring you, it's a different ball game. Like my husband sponsored us. My account did not need to come in our application for anything. Why? Because I have to provide evidences that, oh, my husband has been paying the children tuition school fees over the years. He has been the one in charge of the family. My business is just like a side hustle because I also have to take care of the kids while he's away. All of these things, I explain it on my SOP. So because of that, my account did not show up. But we've taken time to build this account because when I was going to apply, people say, oh, family of 6, study visa is not possible. Africa rate of Nigeria getting visa is 10%, is 5%. But I know I've taken my time. Why? Because I've had to soak information from different Facebook online platform, Choco Millionaire, Shei them. I've got to go over their page, listen to different information, and I was prepared for them. So when you get everything right, there is no way a visa officer will reject you. So in the proof of fund, we need to start on time, let the account show this money over. Don't put a lump sum of money and expect the visa officer to grant you the visa fast. No. My colleague, by the time he put money in the wife's account, at the end of the day, when he gets the GSM, because we're saying the money is complete. And if I know the money is complete, I say, I hear you. By the time we got the GSM notice, was clearly explained that the money came in once and the money, they can't explain how the money came in. So this money, meaning that this money might not be available for you to take care of your children and your wife. So they have to reject the visa and you have to go back, start all over again, pay the visa fee again. You need to avoid all of those things because there are things you can avoid. So how much you need, Shei have said it, each of the children need 3,000 Canadian dollars. Your spouse need 4,000 and you 10,000. If you have paid part of your school fees, you take out the amount you have paid and add the remaining to 10,000 Canadian dollars. And then you check what the rate of CAD is today. It's about 740, 750. It's going up and down, but it is 700 and above now. So you need to look at it and also make allowance. For example, when you are putting money now, if the money you're supposed to have is 8 million, I would advise you put like 10 million because the dollar is going, you don't know when they will answer you. But eventually the time they are answering you, dollar has gone a bit up so that it won't put you out of the, so you can just add maybe 1 million or 2, you know, to just create that space because of the way dollar is going now. Yeah. So Shei, please, you can take it off from there.
Okay. So very, very valid points that Ifeoma made. This last point she made is so important. So important because I know someone who submitted their visa application just before the dollar went up and they were refused because of course dollar had gone up and the visa officer is calculating based on the rate the time they are reviewing your application. So not at the time you submitted. And then I also wanted to talk again about third party. A lot of us are using uncle, auntie, or my brother's friends, or my brother's elder brother's sister. You understand? Those people need to be able to give you what you need, all the documents you need, their business document, their identification document, their bank statement. If the person is really not close to you or your relation, they might not want to give you. That's where people start having problem with proof of funds from third party. Some of them will not even want to send the money to your account. They want to leave the money in their own account. Maybe they don't trust you. They send the money to you, you won't return it to them. So that's where people start having issues with proof of funds, or when you go to a bank, like a microfinance bank, which is now having issues. Some people are having issues with microfinance bank, yeah? I've seen 2 visas that were refused, and the GCMS note said that it was because of microfinance bank. Because these banks will just put the money in your account, lump sum, and you will not be able to explain. Yeah. So that's it about proof of funds. I will take questions about proof of funds very soon. But the last one I want to talk about is when you make your visa application. So when you put in your visa application, you need a study plan, or what is generally called an SOP. Yeah. A lot of people, their SOP is so weak. My goodness, it's filled with mistakes, typos, grammar errors. And you say you want to come to school, filled with typo, grammar. Maybe a visa officer sees that they are put off. Yeah, so you need to make sure it's high quality. Your study plan needs to say why you are coming to study. What is this program going to do for your career or your business? Yeah, why are you coming to study? When you leave, what is your short, medium, and long-term plans? What are your home ties? Which means it's going to take you back to your country when you are done studying. The Canada study visa is a temporary visa. Yeah, even though you might plan to stay after your studies, At this point, nobody cares about that. You have to show the visa officer that I will return. That means I have home ties. Now you ask me what home ties are. Home ties are family members back. I'm going to tell Informa to tell us what home ties are. She that came with her entire family. But home ties are family members, your spouse, children, parents, siblings, cousins, your extended family. If you have a job that you're going to return back home to, businesses, you have land, you have investment, you belong to certain community, you're the head of usher in your church, or you're in one community on your street, all of those things. Don't leave anything out. See, we come out application, the more the merrier. Pack it and give it to them. You don't know which one will fly. If you're in association in your street, pack it. Sweeping association, give them. You understand? Just show evidence, get letters from those associations to show that you, as in your home country, that if you're not back, they will miss you. If you're not back, you create a gap here. But sometimes people have issues when they are coming with their family. They'll be like, actually, I'm coming with my spouse and my children. So it'll be my home tie now. You understand? I've told them things I've said, even if you're coming with your family, so long as you have other family back home, your parents, your spouse's parents, spouse's relations, your own relations, business, job, and all of that I've mentioned, all these make up your home ties. If you cannot show that you have home ties, you may be refused for home ties. And when you show it is in your documents and in your SOP. In the JAPA system, we have amazing samples of SOPs. People have used the samples in the JAPA system to get their visas approved. We also provide free review of your SOP. So if you have the JAPA system, you've written your SOP, you can send it to us. We'll review it and point out, oh, add this or that, or do this or do that. Free of charge, yeah, for everybody who has JAPA system, we offer that free review, free of charge. So if I'm you that came with all your family, tell us, so how did you prove home ties? Especially for those, a lot of people want to come with their families. How are they going to prove home ties?
Yeah, so on my page, I've had people say to me, if I'm coming with my family, so who will I use as my home tie? I actually came with all my family at the same time. There are a lot of things to use as proof of ties. First of all, let me start with the SOP. SOP is your study permit or your academic plan or something, as she said it. This is you telling the visa officer why you want to JAPA. Why are you studying this course? How is this course going to help you? What are you doing in Nigeria or in Ghana or in any part of Africa or any part of the world where you're coming from that will make this course? Why are you not studying this course back home? Is it that this course is not available back home? You need to put all of those things in your SOP. So like I said, my SOP took me months to write. I don't even know what I was writing, but all I know is that my SOP standby on my laptop and I go back, I edit it, I come back to it. And when I watch some videos from different content creators, I come back to my SOP. I kept editing my SOP. There is no too much information. You can say, at a point, my husband was angry. You know how men, why are you putting everything? I said, I can only put under, I can't put too much. You know, the worst they can do is when you put too much, they will take what they want and leave the rest. Exactly. But when you don't put enough, they didn't call me, family of 6. No visa officer sent me message, oh, you need to send more. No, I had more than enough documents that I doubt if they were able to review all, right? Because I gave documents to my car registration, to my husband's own, to the house. These are also like home ties, right? And then I got a letter from my pastor. I've done voluntary service in church over the years. So my pastor have to give a letter. And then my pastor was one of my reference, you know, and all that. So your SOP is where you explain everything. Because Canada don't do interview like US, you need to take your SOP as your interview, like you're standing there to defend yourself. So your SOP is that document you're using to defend yourself before the visa officer. So everything you need the visa officer to know about your plan and how you want to pay for your school fees. Now, in my SOP, I stated to them that, look, my husband is sponsoring us and I have to print the children's school fees, the transfers he did for the children's school fees to attach, tell them that I've attached 1 year tuition fee for the kids over that he has been paying. So this is me telling them that he has been the one that has been sponsoring us even in Nigeria. So going abroad, he will still be the one to sponsor us, right? We don't have a problem with that. And then I was able to bring our business, what he's doing, this is what he's doing, and this will be able to sustain us even when we are, you know, outside. And then the account statement, of course, this is how much we have. And then I break my account statement down. We have this amount, my school fees, this is, I try to explain virtually everything, every document that I put, I explain it. And then in my home tie, I used my mom as my major home ties. And then shortly before we left, mom came to stay a few months with us. So we had picture, like a family picture. I deliberately did that. We went to studio, did like a family picture with her and the kids. And then I had the picture of my mom when she came for each of my children's, when I had them. So I uploaded each of those pictures and I made them to understand that, look, my mom is still alive and very loved, and she visits us and I visit her, you know, putting the picture evidence. You cannot tell them anything without a proper backup, right? Because when you tell them your mom comes and there is no picture and there's no anything, they don't understand that. So they want to see. So by the time I put all those pictures, and then I took my siblings one after the other. I have a brother that is a doctor, the name of the hospital and all that. I have a sister. So basically I used my own family as family ties. And then the property, few of the property we'll have back home. I also put the C of O. I'm not saying we have a property without putting the C of O. I did pictures of the properties, you know, with the address on it, and then uploaded all of these documents. So these are the things that formed my proof of tie. So the proof of tie can not only be your immediate family. Your proof of tie can be your extended family, your siblings, your mom, your dad, you know, and all that. So your landed property, your car can be your proof of fund. I told them I didn't sell my car. My car is still there, and this is the registration because I hope to come back, you know, and all that. So even though that, of course, after the whole thing, I sold my car to Jackpa. Yeah. Yeah. So basically that for home ties.
Yeah. So like Ifeoma said, your SOP and proving your home tie is a deliberate effort. When Ifeoma was saying she wrote her SOP over several months, I smiled because that was exactly what I did. I was writing my SOP a little every day, a little every day. If I learn something, I'll update my SOP. I learned something over months. I wrote it over months. Just like some people want to write it in 2 days and they just think that, oh, if you do something properly, it will show. It will show. And when I sent that SOP to somebody to review, the person was like, oh my God, I've never seen an SOP like this before. It's an award-winning SOP. And if you have the JAPA system, you have access to that SOP. Yeah, it's an award-winning SOP. So you need to take your time and have a study plan. Someone is asking, what is SOP? SOP is a statement of purpose. It's your study plan that says why you're coming to Canada. Yeah, what you plan to do with this, with the studies that you want to do, and why a visa should be given to you. So now I'm going to answer. We're going to start answering a few questions. There's a question I saw that I like. This person was saying, how would he know that a school is PGWP eligible or not? Great question. Great question. So that information is actually not hidden. It's on the government website, canada.ca. We also have the list in the Canada JAPA system. So on the government website, I'll try and put the link in the description below after the webinar. You can, there's a list of, or you just go to Google and type DLIs in Canada. You will see the government website. You go province by province, all the schools are listed. It is there, PGWB eligible. You will say yes, they will say yes or no. So it's an information that's out. You don't even need to ask the school. Yeah. However, there are some programs that are not PGWB eligible, like English as a second language. Please don't do English as a second language. Please don't study that program. Study any other program, not English as a second language. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be looking for questions now. If your mom, I'm going to pin it up. This person said, if your mom is sponsoring you and the applicant is 20 years old, will you provide her own statement of account? So I don't know if you mean the applicant or the mom. So if you're 20 years old, well, you are not a minor, but you are not an adult per se. You're still in that going to school age. If your mom is sponsoring you, yes, you must show your mom's statement of account and where the money is coming from. So what does your mom do? Does she work? Her employment documents. Is she in business? Her business documents. Don't allow the visa officer to wonder, where did this money come from? Don't stand, as Ifeoma said, look at your application with the eye of a visa officer. Give it to someone else. Don't divorce yourself from it so that you can look at it objectively. No, you'll be thinking, it's okay, because it's yours. Yeah. So let me look for the next question, and Ifeoma will answer that one. So this question is, if my husband wants to support me with 3 million, does he have, it's the same question, the same thing. Does he have to show his bank statement? Yes, it's the same question. He has to show his bank statement, for crying out loud, because where did the money come from? Let me look for a question. Okay, this person said, can someone, I guess it's a simple question, can someone come in with to study, take his family after 6 to 9 months?
Sure. You're coming in alone and you want to bring your family after 6 to 9 months. Sure, you can bring your family. I have one of my classmates that have been here for 1 year and 6 months. The wife and the child just joined him. So yeah, it's possible. And then some of my other colleagues, they have applied. One of them, they rejected the visa because of what I explained. He put a lump sum of money once in the wife's account and he's not able to explain it. And they stated it in the GCMS note. So you need to explain where the money is coming. So he's getting ready to reapply. Yeah, you're entitled to your family being around with you as an international student.
And you can apply for them anytime.
Anytime.
I even have a friend who, maybe she landed, she sent her study permits to them. Like, okay, they started applying from day one. So you don't even need to wait. You can apply for them anytime. Okay, so this question said, can a 1-year postgraduate course be eligible for PR in the Atlantic region? If yes, can I move with my family? Yes, a 1-year program is eligible for PGWP, for PR anywhere. So, but the thing about PR is that you also have to qualify for PR. So in Canada, it's not as if after you study, you carry your certificate and finish, give me PR.
There's a process.
There's a process. You have to apply. Funny enough, people who don't know this and who don't plan, they run out of time, because by the time they realize that, oh, you mean I need work experience, or I need this, I need IELTS, I need all of that. So they don't know. You need IELTS. So maybe I finish. I graduated in June of 2020. I applied for permanent residence November of 2020. It's not even up to 6 months, because I don't plan them. We had a plan. So it's not like that.
I just want to add, like you said, if you don't plan it, you're going to run out of time when you're here. Why do I say that? I have a friend, not really a friend, was my home cell member back in Nigeria, and then she relocated before me, and then she did a 1-year program, and she got 1-year postgraduate work permit, and there was no proper planning. That's what I can say, because she has to leave Ontario she's in Lake Alberta now, because she was running out of time. Her PGW 1 year was already going into 4 months and no job. She haven't done IELTS. She was not prepared for anything. So what she have to do now is to look for a job that has LMIA and relocated from Ontario to Lake Alberta. That's where she is now. God helped her. Some of you will not be that lucky, right? Because she also said it, a lot of mistake. She wasn't prepared. So you need to come in and you're putting your ears down, getting information, knowing the next step and the next step, because this place is about process. You have to go through the process.
You have to go through the process. I always tell people, maybe you get here, start. I'm telling you, from day one that I'm that kind of person anyway. I'm a methodical person. I landed, I opened an Excel file, started planning my PR. So I knew what to do. Maybe I graduated in June. By September, I did my IELTS. By November, I applied for permanent residence. Yeah, because I already had everything that I needed. So you need to do it like that. If not, you'll be confused. Okay, someone is asking, oh God, have been finding schools. I'm tired of looking for schools. I want to go with the JAPA system. Yes, get the JAPA system. If you plan to subscribe. That's what you should be doing. It is going to show you how to find schools, find scholarship, find funding, all of that. Yeah, get it though, get it. How long? Very great question. I think before I answer that, how long can an SOB be? Is there a maximum number of pages or words? There is no maximum number. I heard this woman say her husband was even angry. My actual was like 7 or 8 pages. I did not care. I did anything, just that.
Mine was over 10 pages, Shay. Mausa was holding me, reducing.
I feel it. Oh God. So long as it is interesting to read, it flows. I'm not sure any. There's the way you read some SOP that you will be stuck there until you read it to the end. You can't leave it. But there's some from the first paragraph you get tired. So there is no maximum. Put what you need to put, but make every information you are putting there necessary. Don't tell story of how there's a goat in our backyard. Then the goat went to eat one chicken. Say what is necessary and related to the whatever you're doing. So question, let's talk about, we'll come back to the question, but let's talk about the mistakes that you make after you come to study, because a lot of people make mistakes. Yeah, so the first one that people make is they forget that they are here to study. Yeah, a lot of people are actually focused on the working part, not the studying part. Yeah, so number one, they forget that they can only work 20 hours a week. So if you have a job outside campus, only 20 hours a week. If you get a job in campus, maybe a TA or an RA, maybe a teaching assistant or a research assistant, or you work in the library or in the car park or whatever, you can work unlimited hours. But if you get a job outside campus, you have to work 20 hours a week. And funny enough, I keep telling people they don't listen. There's someone who contacted me recently, his PGWP was rejected. It was refused. He did not know that PGWP can be refused. Why? He was working 40 hours a week. Did not listen to anything I said. Was working 40 hours a week. Forgot about that I came to Canada to study. Yeah, which is sad. Now your PGWP is refused. He has to now be looking for a lawyer. He has to pay a lawyer. He has to be running around, or he has to get an MMIA job, which is not easy to get. Yeah. So the next point, if you talk about it. So the next point is when you isolate yourself, isolating yourself and not understanding the rules of the country where you're studying. Can you talk about those two?
Yeah, some people come here and they don't understand that, especially when you're coming in as an international student. She has passed through that stage. When you don't keep, here is like this, the country where we are is a developed world. It's not like back home when you do anything and get away with it. Here, for every action you take, the repercussion, you face it. Now, when you come to school, some of us enter here and you start working first as an international student. Please note, it is not allowed for you to start work before school as an international student. The rule is you have to register for your courses. You should have started school first before you are qualified to start working. Now, when you do some of those things, what are people do? You feel that, oh, it doesn't matter. They are not seeing me. They are seeing you, because when the time comes, that's when you know that some of your employees have added you as their beneficiary in one way or the other. They've used you to file their tax. So your name is on their tax. So somehow they will find out that you did some of this job or before. Do you understand? So my take is try and find what is obtainable when you come in. As an international student, you're not supposed to work before you start school. You're supposed to start school before you work. And like Shay said, if you are bounded with 20 hours, please do your 20 hours and put your leg, because you don't want to finish school and they are telling you you can't get your work permit. You don't know where to start. You start paying lawyer the money you don't have and all that. And then in school, there are some rules and regulations. I have one of our international students here. You hardly see him in class. Do you know that as an international student, there is a number of hours you're supposed to study in person? Yeah. If you're going to do all your courses online, then there is no need giving you visa. So they've given you visa because these courses are meant to be studied in person. And then you come here, you're working, only work, and forgetting that the main reason why you're here is because of your studies. So when you joke with it, work is not going to, you are not in the work route. So work is not going to give you permanent residence. And I believe all of us, that's like our end, expectation, right? So when you now spoil that thing that will give you come in here and then you are doing all your classes online. I have a guy that just came in my school, Sheyi. All he does is to come to class 2 hours late. You know, you have 3 hours class, and then after the first break, 15 minutes, he's coming in after the fair, and the lecturer is looking at him. Here, you can be talking with your professors, and the professors are laughing, and you still get an F in their course. They will call you and ask you, they will be the one to ask you why. Why are you failing the course? What's the problem? Because you have everything. It's not like Nigeria, you say, oh, they are molesting me. Oh, you don't have any reason, because your professor's door is open for you to come and talk to the professor. Now, when you have done everything and you're not doing the right thing, they will be glad to give you an F in that course. And then as an international student, you don't want to be paying for a particular, when you're paying for a course for $2,000 for one course, or $1,800 for one course, you now come and fail that course. What have you, the work, are you gaining or losing? For me, you're losing in so many ways. So you need to look at the laid down rules. And then when you get to school at times, some of us, we just face the work. When you're in school at times, your school recommend you, your school can give you job. So when you participate and you're active in some things, it also helps. It also helps us Africans to enter into leadership, a kind of, even in school system, so that we can talk for others that are coming in. But when we come in, we are over ambitious. We don't want to know the rules. We are in. I had somebody come in, oh, she's looking for, no, I don't come for school. I just want a woman. I just want a woman that I will marry and get PR. Are you for real? And he's serious. That's why he came. He has been shot. He has been here for, he has been here for this semester. He came in this semester, and they've given him a first warning from school. You know, when you go about here, you don't talk to ladies anyhow. When they report you one, they take it very serious. They've given him a first email that he should come and see the school management, because they have some reports against him. And you are just here for 2 months. Excuse me. You didn't see, women are not in Nigeria. You never do enough with women for Nigeria. Come here, come find your destiny. Is woman you come, they come run after for here. For me, it's stupid. Here, it's not like back home. When you come here, you coordinate yourself, you organize yourself. If not, you're going to get yourself into serious trouble. And nobody want to do that. You didn't pay all the money and all the stress to come here and be looking for a woman. There's enough women in Nigeria, enough, plenty. You know, so for me, let's know the rules and the regulations and stay with them, stick to them. Know the things you're supposed to do and the things you're not supposed to do.
Okay, and people don't realize that they can fail. You can fail, oh. Do you understand? There's a pass mark. Yes, you can fail. And if you fail, you have failed. It's either you have to repeat, you're just lengthening your time as a student. You can fail. And this work that you're chasing, there's a time will come, you can work 1 million hours if you want. Can't you just sacrifice that time to go to school and then come out and work the 1 million hours? Yeah. And then volunteering, contributing in school, like Ifeoma said, great advantages. Like I didn't know how to do that when I first came, but thank God I was in communities. So I joined community, maybe community of African students, community of Nigerian students. They have lots of communities in all schools. I believe all schools have it. So I learned about some of these opportunities. It was my lecturer that told me about being an international ambassador. I didn't even know there was anything like that. She told me to apply. I applied and I was made an international ambassador. You understand, for my school, for Nigeria, a great prestigious position. Number one, I started paying the school fees of Citizen, yeah? Because that was part of the thing they gave us. We're paying school fees of Citizen. My picture was all over the school. Like we were 10 international ambassadors. We go to meetings with the chancellor that other people can. We're privileged. And because I was contributing, I was volunteering, I was connecting with people in like other students too, yeah? So please forget about that 20 hours a week. Face your school. You will work when the time comes. Something came to my mind when Ifeoma was talking, part-time. Please, she was saying if you want to school online, what's the point? Don't ever come for a program. Don't ever choose a program that is part-time, please. As an international student, your program should be a full-time program, not part-time. Because I got that question like 2 or 3 times this week. It's full-time. Yeah. Okay, so another thing is managing, I guess it's related to this other point, managing your mental health, yeah? Because some people come and when you talk to them, they're like, assignment here and there. No, we were talking about it before we started. She was like, I have assignment here. I have assignment there. This one is due. And then, of course, her family is here. She needs to take care of her children. You need to work. It can be a lot, yeah? So if you're not mentally ready, some people can fall into depression. Some people can fall ill. Their health starts suffering or something like that. So you need to remember to also take care of yourself, yeah? Take care of yourself, especially if you're coming with children. I don't know how Ifeoma is coping, Life is coping. But I have a couple of friends that came with their kids. They are going to school, especially if you come alone. I'm going to do a video about this next week. How to cope with children, especially if you're coming alone. It is a whole lot of work because you're not going to come with Monica, your house help. You're coming alone. It's just you and those children, and maybe your husband that will take care of them. So you have to manage your mental health, manage your relationship with your husband because you can start suffering, manage your children, and then know how to manage. It's like work-life balance. Everything join work-life balance. So if you are already here in that position now, me, I passed that one. So tell me,
yeah,
how you manage it.
For the kids and everything, in Nigeria or in Africa generally, you have help, like you said.
That's
Monica is not coming with you, nobody's coming with you. This is you and these children. So one of the things I did, Sheyi, before I started coming was to talk to the children, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Our house help, our short. Before we came, 1 year before we came, I made sure nobody was in my house for 1 year. So we're alone. It was us. And so you get to that point where, okay, the things I'm able to do, everybody knows what to do. Okay, this is Saturday, like today, everybody already took their position. You know what you're doing, So when the children are of age, that's what I'm saying. When you have maybe you have them 10, 11, 12 and above, you can actually make sure everybody's doing one thing on their own. But one of the things I found first semester, I struggled a lot with it, Shay, because back in Nigeria, we also put some attitude of laziness to the whole thing we do, because the house help is there. There's this laziness vibe also, the madam style. Like one of my friends, when you plan to travel, one of the things you need to drop back home is the madam style. You leave it back home because here, I tell my followers on my Facebook page, nobody spoon feed you here. One of my classmates that was a director back home will look at me and say, hey, if I was deceiving myself, because you have secretary. Secretary will come and listen to you and go and develop it and go and type it and send to you. And you will read. I say, no, take away this, do this. And then he came here. You have to type all your assignments on your system by yourself. And the professor is giving you instruction. It's not the same way this Professor A wants the work to be. Exactly. Not the same way Professor B wants it. Professor A wants a double spacing, wants it to be font 12, wants it to be this. Professor A don't want a double spacing. Professor A don't want this type of style. Professor A wants Chicago style. All of these things, right? And you are there alone, struggling. You see most of African brothers, because back home, they are comfortable. Hey, to type, they are using one hand to type. By the time you type one hand, the assignment dates will be overdue, right? And you are risking some mark and all that, depending on what the professor has given us the pay. So one of the things I struggled with a lot when I came in last year was the laziness and, the madamish style. And I was struggling and I was asking for extra time. But after some 2-3 months, I told myself, I said, look, you got to sit up and do what you have to do. So one of the things you need to do when you come in here is to arrange your time. Know when you sleep. Know when you wake up. You are doing school, so you have to pay extra price because the school is not all the time for you. The school is for some time. So sometimes when others are sleeping, you're sitting down. Like some of my books are on my phone. I downloaded them on my phone. So even at work, I have a little time. I try reading the books that I need to review. And then of course here, Shay will agree with me. Back home, what I know is how to summarize a book. That's all we study there. Here, you hardly summarize a book. You criticize. You write what you agree, what you disagree, so you're not coming to give them back the book that you have just finished reading. They have a different way of looking at it from how we look at it from the university back home, right? So the little time I have, I try to read the book, digest them. Okay, you are writing on this book, you have this assignment, write down all my program for the week, have my time all planned out. This is time I have class, this time I have work, this is time for the kids. And then over the weekend, you have time cook, put in the fridge for them. And then when they are going to school, you guide them what to do, how to do it. Everybody know what to do. Like here, everybody is working. Husband is working, wife is working, children is working. Everybody, we are all doing one thing or the other to help, because if you don't manage it, you're going to fall sick. It's going to really get on you. And then your mental, you get to that stage, who send you? Nobody send you. You are paying a price and it's okay. It's for a while, right? Just sit up to the occasion and tell yourself, even before you come from Nigeria, that you are determined to if you are leaving your back home, you are leaving your comfort. That's the truth. You're going to discomfort yourself a little bit here and give yourself time to settle in. Just like if somebody comes into Nigeria, you don't expect the person to be comfortable like you that have been in Nigeria for years or all your lifetime, right? So when you're coming in here, it's the same thing. There is no automatic thing abroad. It takes time, right? So you have to give yourself maybe 2 years of school or 1 year of school. After school, then you start relaxing. She is relaxed today. He's no longer on that hot seat, like she said, right? But a few years ago, she was on that hot seat. But when you give yourself time, plan it all out and take some sleep away, extra time of sleep. That doesn't mean that you're not getting sleep. You get some sleep, but you cannot sleep for 10 hours or 12 hours as usual. No, not here. You have to sleep. Maybe if you were sleeping for 10 hours back home, you have to maybe make it 8 hours or 7 hours here so that you'll be able to accommodate your assignment and other things. And then learn to talk to your classmate. One of the things my classmates know me from, if I can disturb, when the assignment don't do me, I will call this person, or yeah, give me your opinion about it. I'll call A, I'll call B, I'll call the white people because they are more experienced than us, whether you like it or not. Because I was looking at my son's book, what do they call it? Like their portal, say yesterday. And then I saw that my son is 10. He's in grade 6. They started teaching them citation. So I was like, really? I was asking him and he was giving me a lot of information about it. So you cannot compare yourself with somebody that started doing this thing at 9 years, 10 years, and they've done it, they are used to it. So I feel free to ask questions. I'm not too big. I ask them questions. And of course, many of them are younger than us doing their MSc here. They are very young, far. You understand? True. I feel free to call them. Hey, there's one girl I call her that Mitch, I'm finding it difficult. And then she feel free to put you through and you continue. So make sure you do your assignments on time and, just planning. It's all about planning for me.
Yeah. And then very importantly, just to add to what Ifeoma said, the study style is different here. Hey,
completely.
The study style is not the same. Like she said, citation. You understand the way their school is here is different from the way as. So by the time they get to the university with you, they are already in that kind of study mindset, which you don't have. Yeah. So like you said, my son too is about that age. They are doing citation. They are learning how to do presentations. That's why when you go to class, they're asking you to discuss. Do you understand? They're asking your thoughts. What are your thoughts about this? I'm like, oh God, is all these thoughts? I had to learn how to do all of those things. There are sometimes I was so stressed. There was a day I was with my supervisor, I broke into tears. Stressed because I will write something, I will write all night, it will take time all night. Still, we'll just be crossing it. So I'm starting from square one. I cried that day. She just knew that I have to pity this lady.
Yeah.
Like she said, this person wants this style. She wants it to be academic. She doesn't want this language. She wants it to talk like this. And the other lecturer wants it on this way. It's a whole lot. So you have to be mentally prepared for what you're coming to face. Just know that you're coming to learn a new style of schooling all over again. So have an open mind. And like Ifeoma said, yes, the people in the class are younger than you. They'll be younger than you, but you can ask them questions. People are very, very ready to help here. Yeah. Very friendly, very ready to assist. Your lecturers, you can walk to their office, they would explain to you. So they're not, you even call them by their first name.
Their first name.
My supervisor, I didn't even know how to be calling her first. I could not. She called her by her first name. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. So I had to learn to call her by her first name. Everybody, first name basis. We're used to. And then when you're here with family, you will share the chores. So everybody has their own chores. So we're on the last few mistakes. Then we'll take questions. The last one is some people forget to extend their study permits. So your study permit is not your visa. It's not that thing on your visa. Your study permit is what you're given in the airport, and it has an expiry date. They usually put it to expire at the date that your passport is expiring. So immediately you come, like I said, when I came here, I had an Excel sheet. Passport expires this date. I wrote it there. Study permit expires these days. Renew your passport on this date. Yeah. So there's a Nigerian embassy here. It's in Ottawa. You have to go and renew your passport, renew your study permit. Please don't allow it to expire on you. Renew it before it expires. I've seen a lot. It's almost madness. I've seen a lot of people in that situation. They don't know that it's expiring until it expires, and they now realize that study permit has expired. So don't allow it to expire. Once yours is expiring, everybody in your family is expiring. because everybody is on your own permit. So make sure you remember to renew it. So don't be worried that, oh, I'm schooling for 2 years, my study permit is 1 year. I'm schooling for 1 year, my study permit is 6 months, or my passport is 6 months. You can renew your passport here. Once you've done that, you can renew your study permit, and you do all of that online. Just go and apply. The same way you apply for study, you apply for study permits. And the last one I had here, like we said before, is planning your PR on time. I can't just say it enough that you have to plan. You have to know the pathway to PR in your province. A lot of us who have come to study, we are looking at PMP, not express entry again. I might be wrong, but I wasn't even looking at express entry when I came. It's PMP. So immediately I came, I studied all the provincial nominee programs that I can take advantage of. And from the beginning, I knew immediately I finished, this is what to do. I was networking from school. From school, I'd already told my lecturer, ma'am, when I'm done, would you be able to recommend me to this employer or this? And she was like, yeah. I'll make you. I already marked that one down. I went to this lecturer. I'm graduating soon. Would you be willing to recommend me? I'm telling you what I did. Because for me, we were also going to companies. I was doing a research program. So I knew the companies that these people are affiliated to. I knew that I would apply to the companies. I've already written all their names down. Yeah. That is how methodical I was. I was not going to wait to finish and then start running around. So you have to be that methodical. Connect with people, network, make friends. Canada, you'll be surprised. It's about networking.
Networking.
It's a man, no man. The way with but their own man, no man is somehow. It's about networking. You have to put yourself out there. Be vocal. Yeah. Show yourself as someone that's ready to and volunteer as well. Put your volunteer experience in your CV. I volunteered as this. They like volunteer. Eh? Yeah. So try and volunteer and put it on your resume as well, so they will see that you are contributing to your society. In my school, I went to Brock. There's an award they give for those who volunteer. There's a program they have. You do 100 things and then you get that plaque. I did it though. I did those 100 things, volunteer. In the graduation, they put my name and others on, so all those things are great, yeah. So let us take some questions. I think we've talked a lot, let's take your questions. So you say, why is IRCC not replying? Not replying to applications. So is that the closer you get? I think this is, what month are we now? September. So
October.
Okay. So, I mean, usually the closer you get to September, the slower they are because they have more applications. That's why you should not wait. And if they've not responded to you, send them web form. Let me give you a tip. Send them web form every day at a particular time. 11 a.m. you send them. 11 a.m. Tuesday, send them. I'm telling you, it works. They will know that this person is serious. Okay, somebody said, oh, I don't understand this question. I'm going to clean it up. What if I receive a lump sum from a grant? Would it be accepted? Well, I don't know what you mean by a grant. If it's an education grant or maybe a scholarship, a grant is usually a scholarship, yes. See, you can put lump sum. Still wrong with lump sum. As long as the lump sum is explained with proof. So don't just say, I sold the land. Show us that you own the land. Show the land, the sale of document or whatever. So as you are putting proof, you're fine. I'm just trying to select some questions I've already been asked. I'm going to ask if this one. And I had question. A school, I pinned it up. A school does not have PGWP. What other ways can you remain in Canada? I think you touched on it when you were talking. What other ways can you remain in Canada if your school is a DLI but not PGWP eligible?
Is there any other way to remain? Well, if there is, I don't know, because the pathway for you as an international student is to finish and get your work permit. And then depending on your province, like Sheyi said, you're either some province, that's why I advise people, if you don't have money and then saving time, don't go to big city. Go to Live Ontario alone, go to Saskatoon, go to New Brunswick. When you have gotten your PR, you can live in any part of the country you like. By then you are comfortable somehow, right? But as an international student, I think for New Brunswick is 6 months, work experience. Saskatoon 6 months, but Alberta, Ontario is 1 year, right? So for me, I don't know any other proper pathway for international students. I'm talking of the experience I have for international students. What I know is you have to get your postgraduate work permits. Maybe if you don't get postgraduate work permits, you can look for LMIA job, I think. And then LMIA job, quote and unquote, is not that easy. And then when you are still going to get LMIA job, you would maybe need to start going to those provinces we talked about to get it more, it's easier in those provinces, right? There is also a program Alberta is doing now, but it's not in Calgary, it's in far Alberta, like White Corn, Lake Alberta, those inside Alberta, they have a program they are doing too. So those places you can get LMIA job there. But as an international student, I know that your postgraduate work permit is important. And for me, if you are not in here yet, I don't know why you want to get a program that is university that will not give you postgraduate work permit. You need to avoid that. That's why we're doing this video.
Yeah. So the first thing, number one, avoid it if you can. Avoid it. Number two, because some of those schools will tell you sweet things. We'll give you job offer when you are done. We'll give you this, yeah. But when you're already here and you pay them your school fees, you cannot go and be holding them if they don't give you. So avoid it. However, if you must come with that program, number one is try and change to another school that is PGWP eligible. Or when you're done, you need to get an LMIA job. That means you're getting a closed work permit and not an open work permit, which is the PGWP. It is a very difficult path you are choosing. So it's not, I will not recommend it, but if you must, those are the options that are available to you. Someone says, can I come with my son that is 20 years old?
Yes, you can.
You can come with your son that is 20 years old, but your son, when someone is 20 years old, I assume the person is in university. If the person has graduated, then that's fine. You can come with your son that's 20.
You can, but the son will not get, your son is not getting like a study.
Yes, because your son is not going to go to school.
So you also have to explain what your son is doing. What is he doing right now? Why are you coming with him?
Why are you coming with him? Do you understand? Because really, if he comes, he can't do anything. He's not going to go to school. So, I mean, what is he going to come and do?
Unless you want to pay for him as an international student too. You want to get admission for the child and, pay school fees as an international student.
You have to anyway. If you're here with a child that is, I had a friend, her child was almost getting to that age and they hadn't gotten PR. She was like, she has to pay international fees. But well, luckily for them, they got their PR before the child went to university. I talked about this when we were talking. So, but I'll just address it because there might be some people who came late. So, if I'm doing a 2-year program, do I need to show proof of funds for the 2 years or just 1 year? So, like I said, if you have someone sponsoring you, maybe your spouse or whoever is sponsoring you back home, you can show 1 year. But if you are self-sponsored, you will show 2 years. Yeah, if you're self-sponsored. So do you advise, I'm going to allow you for me to answer, do you advise that we get everything ready, SOP, proof, other things, proof is proof of funds, before applying for school admission? SOP, before school admission, yeah.
You can get everything ready, or you can be doing them together.
Exactly, you should do everything together. As you have applied for school, hopefully you get admission. So as you have applied, you are working on your proof of funds, you are working on your SOP, it's different, yeah? So me, that's how we do it. I start doing my proof of funds. The proof of funds was already ready. The people that I will collect money from have already collected. Put in my account, I don't have to explain anything. So it has to be methodical like that. For questions that actually make sense. I have it. Okay, someone says, well, you've already answered your question by yourself. I have a BSc in marketing. I've been offered admission to study diploma in business management. Can this fly? I don't know why you want to do a diploma, but if you have a reason that can convince the visa officer why you're stepping down to do a diploma, how it is going to help your career or business, go on son. But if you cannot convince them, then it will not fly. Okay, so stop asking me what program is suitable for you. There are so many questions that I'm jumping them. You understand? So long as a program is in line with your background, we explained in full when Ifeoma and I were talking. Maybe you go and watch the replay. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and share it. I need to say that. Like the video. Okay, so what can be done? This is a good question. Anyway, what can be done for schools asking for GMAT or GRA, especially for business management programs? Ifeoma, did you do GMAT?
No,
You said
I didn't.
leadership. You didn't do
I
GMAT.
didn't do.
Okay.
In short, my school asked for IELTS, but I told them I studied in English. Like
In
I will say,
English.
every website, every school website will have that because we are not the only
Ask.
people. There are French-speaking people that are applying and all that. Do you understand? But it's here. I said it one word. You have the power of negotiation. You have the power. Don't be scared when you're doing admission. They are looking for your money as an international student. Do you understand? They want you to come. They need the money. Their local students are not paying what we are paying. So they make good money from us. You have my school. I have to do like a Zoom with them. And then the admission officer, when I finished the Zoom meeting with, I said, Mr. Nick, I spoke with you for like an hour and we communicated in English. So why are you asking me for IELTS? That was at the point he gave up. He said,
Wow.
I said, exactly. It's your power of negotiation. They keep reminding me, and I keep replying them the email that I've studied a 4-year program in English. And I don't need to do IELTS. So it's your power of negotiation. No school, if you're coming from Nigeria and you graduate, no school should put you on that. You move, like Chokomilo said, you move. Go to another school. There are many schools that offer that same program. Do you understand? Change, one thing I find we do is we get tired. Like somebody say, I'm tired of applying. You cannot get tired. I applied to how many schools? Don't get tired. Keep applying. There are many of the schools, like right now, my school is doing free, doing application waiver. The criteria is that you have to do the open house, right? You do the open house and you're qualified to send your application. That $100 is waived for you. I didn't pay any dime for my application. I did it. I got a waiver because I have to do the open house, right? But some of us is when you are determined to do something, I will tell you, come out for it and face it as your own problem. And when you see it as your problem, it helps you take every risk and every extra thing you need to take. You need to take your sleep out because the timing here and the timing there is not the same. Like I'm sure this is one is getting evening back in Africa, right? So this is the time my school be starting open this thing in the next 2 hours. I have sent to one of my friends. She's already joining them. So the time I did it, it was like late in the night back home, but I was awake to do them. When I watched videos, it was late in the night because I needed these videos to be able to know how to go about my journey. So it's your determination. Apply to as many schools. And if you are following school deeply, many schools give waiver, but there are criteria for you to get those admission waiver, right? I applied to 3 schools, and those 3 schools, I didn't pay admission fee for any of them. Do you understand? So you can actually get it. And then even if you're going to pay, you can pay for 1 or 2, $100. That's about 70-something naira now for $100, for 100 Canadian dollars. So go check different schools. Don't get yourself tied in one school that will tell you to write IELTS and you are stuck up there. No, nobody out there. My school asked me, but I told them I can't do it because if I've studied and I have a BSc, I studied in English, I tell him to come and do IELTS for what? To get admission in your school to do masters. So try another school. Open up. It's not particular with your course.
Yeah, but a lot of schools that for MBA and management programs, truly a lot of schools will ask for GMAT and DRE. Some of them will refuse to waive it, yeah? But still, there are schools that offer, especially colleges, if it's postgraduate diploma, postgraduate certificates, those ones don't ask for GMAT. But if you want to do an actual MBA in many of these schools, you have to take the time to go and do GMAT or GRE. A lot of them will not waive it, yeah? So we have GMAT and GRE resources, links to them in the JAPA system as well. It's not, I'm not going to say it's a simple exam, but it's something, if you really want to do an MBA, it's something I think that you might be thinking of doing, yeah? Especially for schools that will not want to waive it. Okay, so this straightforward question, I applied a loan for my first application. I was refused. Can I apply with my family now? Yes. I use the new portal for my first application. Can I use the old portal now? Yes. Yes to both.
Have you got a GCMS note? Do you know the reason why you were refused the first time? Have you addressed it?
mistake we didn't even talk about. People reapplying without getting their GCMS notes, without understanding why they were refused the first time. Once somebody tells me I've been refused twice, I just know they didn't get GCMS notes. Yeah. I just know, because if you were refused once and then you got it, most likely you will get it right the second time. Yeah, but people are like, but my school is starting in May and it's starting in January. There's no time. Okay, there's no time. So what do you prefer? To apply again and get a second refusal, or to wait for that 30 days and get your GCMS notes? Some GCMS notes are so revealing that you would never have thought that is why you were refused. You would never have addressed it. So try and get GCMS notes. Yes, it's 30 days of waiting, but it is the best strategy for addressing refusals. Yeah. So we're not talking about jobs. If you're asking about job, I won't answer. Oh God. After applying SOP for study visa, do we need to apply another one for school application? Okay, well, I think what this person is asking is it the same SOP you use for school application that you use for study visa? They are not the same. So when you're applying to a school, your focus is why you should take me for this program in the school, yeah? When you're applying for study visa, your focus is why you should give me a visa. So that is a more robust statement of purpose than the one you use for school, yeah? So it's different. Okay, same question. The first time you applied as self-sponsored, the second time you want to apply with a sponsor, same thing we said. Why were you refused? Find out first before you now apply the second time. I'm selecting the questions. I'm not going to answer some questions that I'm like, why are you asking? Can a mother of two cope with her studies, her job, and 2 children? We talked about it now. If you're alone with just 2 children, it will be hard. It's not impossible. I don't like to sugarcoat the truth. It will not be impossible. I wasn't in that situation. I didn't have a 3-year-old when I came, but really, I know
3-year-old is still a baby.
Is a child. The child can't even go to school. Yeah, so just like to be difficult, because the time you drop the child off to daycare, which is expensive, by the way, and then you pick the child up, might be clashing with your school. It is very difficult. Yeah, it's doable, but it is very difficult. Yeah. Let me just search for question. We are running out of time.
Yeah, so searching for question for the person that have a 3-year-old. Like Shay said, it's doable, but it's determination and extra work. First of all, as an international student, you'll be paying extra money. Government is not covering any of your,
not covering daycare,
not paying anything for you for crèche, and crèche here is very, very expensive. So I have a coursemate. When I came in, he was here before me, Pelumi. What he did was to use, like, this grandma that comes for holidays, got a grandma that he's paying like half of what crèche will collect, and the child stays all day with grandma, and the child is more okay, feed her in African style feed. So we have many grandmas around, but
exactly.
you're also paying extra, the payment plus your school, plus your house accommodation. So you need to look at it. Such a person, if you have your mom, you need to maybe consider, if you have the resources, applying and adding your mom or your mother-in-law and see if you get approval for them. That can be another thing, but it's difficult. It's not going to be easy, because if the child is up to 6 and the child goes to school in the morning and come back by 2, 3, that's a different thing. And even when they are 5 years, I found out that when they are 5 years, they don't go to school full time here. They go to school like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
So
it's until they are 6 that
they are 6 is when they start proper school.
I'm telling you, it's not easy. And that's why I guess that is also not related. That's why they have 1 year maternity leave in Canada, which is also 1 year. Wow. They're enjoying it. Okay.
They're enjoying that.
Can I use a bank statement? Bank statement that is not in Nigeria for proof of fund, like Bank of America. Yes, you can use a bank statement anywhere in the world, as long as it is yours or belongs to your sponsor. You understand? Yeah. As long as we know who has it, you can use anyone. So we're talking about studies. So I've seen a lot of questions about, I'm a nurse, I'm a this, and a that. No, I'm not going to answer it. Can I apply with my family from the onset? Yes. Yes. Can I get a master's program to study without contacting a supervisor? Did you get a supervisor?
No.
No.
I think it depends. It depends on your program.
Yes. Program, yes.
You are doing a research program.
Exactly. So if you're doing research like I did, you need to contact a supervisor or a professor, but not all masters are research. Yeah. Even my own masters, there was a part that was not research. Those people were doing cost-based. So they don't have to contact the supervisor. But if you want to get funding and you're doing research, that is where you need to contact the professor. So if it's cost-based, no professor needed. Yeah. Very easy. Just meet the requirements and you apply. Can I use my husband's account number for what now? As in, do you mean can your husband sponsor you? Yes.
Sponsor you.
The husband, that's the easiest sponsor self. Husband to wife, wife to husband. Okay, good question. Some of the schools say there's no need for IELTS. Will it still be compulsory for applying for permanent residence? Like I said before, absolutely yes.
All the running we are running, we'll come here to come and do the IELTS.
Everything, you stick to the IELTS. Or you do self-pip. You know, they have one they do in Canada called self-pip.
Self-pip, yeah.
Self-pip, I looked at it. I was like, you know what, let me do the IELTS that I am used to. Let me not leave this self-pip alone. So, but some people say it's easier. But for you to get permanent residence, you must do the English language test. So, yes. You need it. Even if you didn't do it for school, you will do it for PR.
And then if you have done it for back home for school, the tendency that it would have expired for your PR is
yes,
there,
definitely.
Right?
It would have expired. I did one before I came. By the time PR it has expired, I have to go and do another one. So I already had a date, and I did mine during COVID. In fact, there's a whole lot of story there. Everything was cancelled.
Wow.
It was, oh my goodness, how I did my IELTS is another, oh God. They cancelled everything. I had to go to Brampton. I live oh God, I had to travel to another town.
To go and do
with a friend there to do IELTS.
Yeah, that's why I said everything about it, you have to be deliberate. You have to plan yourself because they believe in hard work too. So you have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to do it, no excuses. So you have to put in the work.
You have to be intentional. Anything you're doing, if not, everything will just pass you by. I have 5 children, and I want to come with 2 of them. How possible? I think it's possible.
Very possible.
Very possible. You decide. Like if you want to come with 2 because that's what you can afford, you can use the rest of them as home ties. Very possible.
Just prepare, get yourself ready. It's not I want to come with them. There are requirements. Go check the requirements. What do I need to do for them to come with me? Am I meeting up the requirements? How much do I need for 2 of them to join me? These are the important questions. You can come with all your kids. You can come with 2. You can come with anyone you want to come. But the thing I tell people, you want to come with them. What is the requirements?
Just make sure you're meeting the requirements. So, yeah. So sometimes some people say these visa officers are wicked and all of that. But sometimes when you also look in, yes, there are some unreasonable refusals, but many of the refusals is justified. Who didn't do what they are supposed to do? True. Can I still get admission for January 2024? So we are in October, this is October 7th, and you haven't gotten admission for January 2024, you better forget about it because you have to get admission. I'm not even sure the admission is still available.
Admission is open for September.
Yeah, forget about January. You should be looking at May and September. Some programs have even closed for May. Yeah. I tried doing an application the other day. No program for May. It's September. So everything you have to do on time. Yeah. You have to do on time. Thank you so much, Ishmael. Ishmael is thanking us, Shay and her friend.
Thank you to Ishmael.
Give this video a thumbs up. Yeah. So that's the love we need. Give it a thumbs up. Share it, like it. Yeah.
The
that's the way to tell us thank you.
That's the encouragement.
Oh my God. This question, this is the mindset of many of us. Can you defer and work, then go back to school the next academic session? Our people. Don't you just work? Why don't you just study first?
And
Forget
finish
about
it.
that one, and then and then go and work as much as you want. So, like if I said before, you have to be registered to work. You will hear people tell you it doesn't matter. I know my friend that did it and got PR. I know this one. Now, all these people that they know, you don't know them, but you don't know whether your luck is different from all those people. Yeah. So face what you came to do. You said you're coming to study. Study first. Yeah. Don't defer. Because if you defer, what's the point? You can't work until you're registered in school. I'll tell you all sorts. So this thing I'm telling you, somebody is going to tell you opposite, but that is the law. Yeah. And when these people hold on to the law, they don't let go. So please face your school and then work later. Yeah. Work later.
Let's ask Shay if she's not tired of working now.
See the work, you will not be tired. I'm telling you, you will now you'll be tired because you can do anything you want after you're done studying.
And of course, you're able to get if you have deferred your school, maybe by now you still be rounding up, or there is a lot of benefits here when you have your PR. People don't understand. You're able to get some things. Do you understand? So why don't you face this school for 1 year, for 2 years, and get it out of the way, and look for the next thing? And then you're free, you're free. You want to even do another program. You're having some funding from government now. You can borrow money. Do you understand? And then go to the school easy. You want small courses to do at this point. It can be sponsored by government and all that. So why delay yourself? The more delay, you understand? For me, it's like delay. Face your front, what brought you, and then let's not spoil things for others coming behind us. Let's not have this notion that a particular people come and they don't go to school and they don't do what they are supposed to do. And when others are applying, it makes it more difficult for the people coming behind. So we want to leave a good legacy for our country, for our continent, so that people coming behind us get their visa easily, because we are coming and we are going to school and we are following the due process.
Yeah, because the statistics, they have the statistics, number of people who come and don't go to school. It affects those who want to come after us. Really, please, let's not spoil things for people coming after us. I beg you guys. So someone is arguing that if IELTS is not required for study, why do they ask for it for PR? My dear, I don't know. That's what Canada government does it. You know, they ask from that IELTS exam. I'm sure they are raking in like millions and billions. So it's a business. That's what I would say. That's my thinking about it. It's a business. So I don't know. Okay, can one use his house, his land for proof of funds? Hey, now wow. No, because the answer is no. Proof of fund is money, liquid cash that you can spend. Yeah, so
you can't use your house to pay for school fees.
Give the school the house.
You can't use your house to buy textbook.
Exactly. So it's cash. That's why if you go to the Canada.ca website, which is where you should be going, they put what is acceptable as proof of funds. Land and house is not part of it because not money. Yeah. So you need to sell that land and house and have the money in your account to show that you have the money. Land and house are home ties. So those are things that you have investments in back home, that they are home ties. So it's not proof of funds. Yeah. Can I get a link to apply? So if I assume you want to join the Canada JAPA system, ask the person that sent you here to send you the link for you to purchase. Yeah.
You can't drop the link for them. Okay, somebody's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody's saying, will you explain in your SOP how you will pay your fees how you will pay for your next year fees in your SOP or your proof of funds?
Yeah, I did
so
explain.
We've talked about this more and more. Yes, we've talked about it severally. See, there are two ways. You're either self-sponsored or somebody is sponsoring you, or you have scholarship and funding. If you're self-sponsored, you need all the money for the 2 years. Yeah. If you are not self-sponsored, maybe you have a business back home, you have a job that is still paying you, you have your spouse that is going to pay, then you only show the 1 year and you explain in your SOP. The next year of my study will be taken care of by my husband. who is an engineer at ABC company. He earns 3 million naira a month. This is his pay slip. This is his bank statement. Yeah. So they know that your husband, Mr. A, will pay for Mrs. A's second year of schooling. That's how it's done. Yeah. So, and that information has to be in your SOP. Does ELTS have an expiration date? Yes, it's valid for only 2 years. Only 2 years. If you're asking about the budget, we talked about the budget in detail. So go and watch the replay. It was the first thing that we talked about at the beginning. And somebody said, what is the rate? If a man called 740.
Let me check.
Let me check for today. They actually use the bank rates. They don't use the black market rates. So if the black market rate is maybe 800, the bank will probably be 6 something or 5 something, I think.
Does it still work now? I think they have in Nigeria. No,
this one that Nigeria has done something. I don't know the thing that they did about black market and whatever. So
I think it's the same now.
It's the same, which is a shame.
Yeah. So as of today, it's 742.
You see? So
from
that's
the exchange app I use.
Okay, so I usually use owanda.ca, and I think it's about that too. Owanda.ca or .com. Owanda.com. That's let me write it. Owanda.com. That's the website I use and to do my exchanges when I'm working. So you can check that one. If the rate is 740, that means that's the rate you should use.
742.
Wow. When are you holding a webinar for work permit? I'll hold it soon. The last one we did was for work permits. Go and watch the video on my channel, yeah? On this channel. Wow. Okay, so this is an interesting question. I'm going to get this woman's view and then I'm going to ask her, can 1 year program get me a PR? We talked about it. Can someone apply for it before the end of the program?
Can you apply before the end of your program? No.
Before the end of your program.
I'm not sure, Shay. Maybe you'll be, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it depends. It depends. If you're applying for express entry and you are already in the pool, you qualify to be in the pool, you can even get permanent residence while you're a student. Yeah. But if you want to apply with this certificate that you are going to school with, then you have to wait to graduate, yeah? But if you already qualify for a permanent residence route, you can get it even while you're studying. 1 year program is supposed to get you permanent residence. So a 1 year program will give you a 1 year work permit. So you have 1 year to qualify for permanent residence and apply, yeah? So by the time you have applied for permanent residence and the government has accepted that they've received your application, you can stay in Canada until they give a decision. So if they let them take 3 years, yeah, you have the right because you are on an implied status. But 1 year program gives you a 1 year 1 year work permit, and you can actually get permanent residence on 1 year. Like we said, plan. Oh my goodness, I can't say it enough. You have to have a plan. You have to understand this is the route that I want to use for permanent residence. Is it a PMP? Is it Canadian Experience Class? Is it Express Entry? Whatever it is it AIPP if you are in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia and all of that? Whatever it is, yeah, plan. Is it 6 months work experience if you are in Saskatoon? Plan, yeah? So that's what I'll say. It can get you permanent residence if you plan. If you plan.
I think you really re-emphasize that postgraduate work permit is given once.
Yeah. Ifeoma, thank you for even saying that. Though. It's given once. It cannot be extended and you cannot have it a second time. Thank you for that point, Ifeoma. I always forget. And many people don't know. You only get
we have to be careful what we do with the time so that if you know you are not like Sheyi, who is very meticulous, she can plan, she can put all her things together, then you know you're going to run out of time with 1 year postgraduate, especially if you're in a country that requires 1 year work experience. So that means you are already working before this open work permit will come.
Yeah.
Because if you're not already working,
there's something you can do. There's a hack. Okay. There's a hack, but I will mention there's a hack of how you can start working before you get up. That's your paper, but that is beyond the scope of this. It's for people who pay for the JAPA system.
Okay.
JAPA system is 50,000. Somebody's asking how much it is. 50,000 in Naira and the equivalent in your own currency. And I can give you that hack of how you can start working before you get your PGWP. If you're in Ontario, especially, those are the people that need it. People in Ontario. Let me look at the next question. We'll be here like 1.5 hours. I want to thank
It's
you
already 1.5
guys who have been here. 1.5 hours. If you didn't know. 1.5 hours. So someone says, Christiana Villa, if we subscribe, can we get full access to you, or is it your agent that will be putting us through? Need you a lot. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so if you do the program, you have access to me. Yeah. So the way you have access to me is that program is a combination of videos, PDF, templates that have been made by me. So it's my face you'll be seeing in the program. Yeah. You have access to our email support, which means if you are stuck, you can send us an email. It is a do-it-yourself program. I'm not going to be doing application for you. Yeah. If you send me a question, I'll answer, but I'm not going to do your application for you. However, if you want agency services, you want a professional to do it for you, you have to pay a separate money for that. But listen, a lot of people have used the JAPA system and they did not have to pay any extra money. They followed the guide and they did it themselves. You can do it yourself. You don't need an agent. If all you're saying here, did it herself. Me, you're saying here, I did it myself. So many people are doing it themselves. You don't have to pay. Yeah. So that's what the JAPA system. So if you're saying access, I will not get on a Zoom with you like this and be guiding you, but we provide email support. Yeah. And you can always book an appointment to speak with me. All of that inside the JAPA system. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have a few more questions. Do we have more? This thing about education loan, student loan. Can I get a student loan in Nigeria and use it as proof of funds? Does Nigeria give student loans?
Does Nigeria give student loan?
Okay.
Neither am I. Maybe those that have upper connection. Maybe upper connection.
Things that they do. That one is not student loan. No. That thing that they do in Nigeria. It's not
if they can pay it into your account.
Exactly.
If they can loan it into your account and then give you a letter to back it up.
Give you a letter. That's where I was going. If I just hit the nail on the head. So if students say, if an organization or a bank is saying, I'm giving you a student loan, let them give you a letter that said, we are giving this person is a student loan. These are the payment terms and all of that. That is fine. Or if you get a loan from like Empower, which is an international organization, that is fine. You can use those as your proof of funds. Will not give you the money until your visa is approved, by the way. They will pay the money to the school. Yeah, so that's how Empower works. But so long as it's a loan that the organization gives you a letter, it's a verifiable organization, you can use it as proof of funds. Yeah. This is really educating. Thanks for this, Adekunle. Thank you so much. That is why we do it. Oh, if you say it's educative, then we're glad.
Give the video a thumbs up.
A thumbs up. That's it. Apart from relocating through study, what are the other areas to explore? Now, I would not have answered that, but let me just use this opportunity to say. Now, there are about 4 ways that you can relocate to Canada if you're outside Canada. There are other parts if you're inside Canada, but if you're outside, you can relocate using the study routes. You can relocate using express entry or the provincial nominee program. Those two are very related to each other. So provincial nominee program is a province will nominate you. Express entry is the federal government nominating you. 2 of these ones you land as permanent residents. The study route, you come as a student. After studying, you apply for permanent residence. You can also get a job. That's the work permit route. So if you get a job and an LMIA, so it's not just about the job, a job offer and the LMIA, you can apply to get a work permit. You can come to Canada to work. If you're in Canada on a visit visa, you can the same thing. You can get a job on an LMIA. You can apply for work permit. Other thing you're hearing, I don't know which people are telling you those things. Every other thing you're hearing is not true. So those are the routes. Those are the routes to become a permanent resident. I'll allow Ifoma to answer this one. Medicals. Somebody's asking. So people always ask about medicals. So people start asking, I'm like, are you ill or something? I don't know. The different types of tests that are done during medical exam.
They do.
Sometimes when they are doing the test, we don't even know what they are doing. Yeah,
I got my results because my brother is a doctor, so I have to send results for review and all that. So they do kidney function tests now. They do TB. They do chest X-ray. So it's from the chest X-ray they know if there is any sign of TB. So most times what I saw them do in Abuja is that those that they have issue with their chest X-ray, they call you back, you know, for another test to like verify. And then when they verify, they will give you maybe 2-3 weeks to treat yourself. And I've also seen one of my parents, the woman attends, the kids attend the same school with my children when we were in Nigeria. She was rejected on medical reason because they said that she has heart enlargement. And before then, she didn't know, right? So she has to treat it. So they have to reject her visa on that basis and then tell her when she treats herself and she's okay, do another test and all that. So they do kidney function test for adults, kidney function test, chest X-ray, TB, HIV, all of this. Then for children, they don't do chest X-ray for children. They just do, children is just minor. I don't even know what they check for them. They just did 1 or 2 tests for my kids. But for me and my husband, we did like comprehensive tests. Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll take your blood, they take your
they take your blood,
urine,
or
your
X-ray.
poo, I think, I can't remember.
No
blood
poo-poo.
and urine.
No
poo-poo.
poo-poo.
So blood and urine and X-ray, yeah.
X-ray.
And like Ifeoma said, I know someone who, after his X-ray, there were issues. Maybe they say something about pneumonia or something, and they did some treatment, and they said they wait for 9 weeks, a whole 9 weeks. So he had to wait for 9 weeks. After 9 weeks, they did another test.
Another one.
A second one, and they said he's fine. The next day, they sent it to IRCC. The next day, 2 days later, he got his approval. So IRCC was just waiting for that test
confirmation test.
They were just waiting for that confirmation. It took 9 weeks.
And then
so
they will check
that,
they will check your eyes too. Your vision.
Your eyes, definitely they will check your eyes. So the doctors want to help. So even if you notice an issue, they will ask you to get it treated and then come back. So by the time you are fine, they will now send.
And then another funny thing.
Another
funny thing they do physical examination now. Like you have to take off your clothes, a doctor will do physical.
Are you serious?
For the ladies, they will check for lump. They do like physical now. So you take off your clothes, the only thing you have is your inner, where I remember my husband was uncomfortable with that. So the doctor that attended to us was a female doctor.
Was a female,
so she now said, that I can come in, so I have to come into the curtain and all that for her to check him, So they do like a physical
serious.
one.
That's a new one. Okay.
Yeah, they try to check your heartbeats, touch, they do physical now.
Okay, so, and the reason why they are doing all of this, they don't want people who will come and drain the resources, People who have, maybe, if somebody has cancer, maybe they will not give, I don't know, but somebody that will not come and drain the resource, taxpayers' money. So that's what they're trying to avoid. Now, the reason why I'm picking up this question is saying there's a policy since last year for 40 hours for students in Canada. You saw it in an Indian group. It's true. If you apply, that policy has a time frame.
It has a time limit.
It has a time limit. It's not forever.
Maybe Shay, we need to do another video on that. Because
that's right.
Our video is getting too long already. It's over 1:30. So the people are able to watch a replay of it, because when it's too long, so for me, I think we'll do a full video on that, because in school, like as a student, many of them coming and telling me they can work for 40 hours. No, you cannot.
I read the policy very well. Read it by yourself. Stop listening to what people are telling you. That policy was for those who got their study visa before October 2022 or something, and it is for a time frame. If you don't have your study visa, it doesn't affect you. It's for a certain people.
The people that have their application already in before that time, that announcement was made.
Please.
And it will expire this December.
Exactly. It will expire. So those people that were even doing it will stop. Then if you are in a school that has scheduled breaks, scheduled breaks, so maybe they go off for summer break, you can work full time during that time. I know a lot of people last summer, they were working as if they want to die.
We are here.
And they can mark up money to cover the here. We're taking all the shit. You don't even see shit. All these students are taking it. So So that time you can work full time. But once school starts, you revert back to your 20 hours. That's when a lot of high school students work. A lot of people work during that time to get money to go back to school. So me, I did a master's program. We did not have scheduled break. Those people do also. We did not have scheduled break. We were schooling during summer. Anyway, God did.
They paid.
Yeah. I bought the Japa system last year. Is it still valid? Yes, now. Why would it not be valid? Is English language proficiency equivalent to IELTS? Okay, so some schools will take English language proficiency. Some schools will actually ask you for it. They will take it. They'll take it instead of the IELTS. Now, the thing about this is that every school is different. And like Ifeoma said, you can negotiate. School is different. Some schools will say, if you are from these countries, you don't have to bring IELTS. Some school, they don't care which country you are from. You must give them IELTS. So those are the ones that you might send your English proficiency letter and all that to, yeah? So we don't have too much time. So I'm just to look at the questions that matter or that are, so that we can answer those ones. And if I can go and feed our children, I can go and feed my children. I don't think anybody is sitting here. They're waiting for me.
Which children? The adult is there to take care of.
Do you know one thing in Canada is that immediately we came here, I taught my son how to cook Indomie, how to go ahead, how to microwave food, how to bring out soup, put it there, microwave it. Look, everything. So if I'm out, I just call.
Do you know that when you can microwave gari? Do you know they can make gari with microwave and it comes out very well?
So, okay. So everybody's independent here. You have to do your things. I thought this is somebody who didn't lift a finger in Nigeria, but here,
that's why I say you train your children here. Everybody gets sense fast. Everybody mature.
You lift a finger. Okay, do I still need proof of fund for sponsor open work permits? You need proof of fund for everything.
Everything. Yeah? Everybody that is coming to Canada, you need proof of fund. Your grandma, your grandpa, everybody, they need to see the money.
You can take care of yourself. If your mother is coming, she needs proof of fund. Your father is coming, proof of fund. Your husband, proof of fund. Everybody, proof of fund.
Proof of fund.
So that you can take care of yourself. Even if you're as a permanent resident, proof of still. For 6 months before you settle down and all. Sometimes it's when you come here that you understand why they asked you for proof of funds.
Exactly.
You will get it.
Exactly. When I came here, I say no wonder these people are asking for more. By the time you pay for accommodation, how many months?
And you're paying with Naira, you will get it. You will get it.
So you know they have sense.
Yes. This one is saying after PGWP program, then what? Then you have for permanent residence now. What's the again now? It's why you don't have to do a master's after postgraduate diploma. A lot of people ask that question. No, Nigerians will like books. Yeah? You don't have to do another program. You can apply. What you want is permanent residence. Even if you want to do your master's, do it after you become a permanent resident so that you are paying. You are not paying international fees.
Yeah.
You are paying fees you are paying as a permanent resident. Your fee is so much
reduced.
It's almost like cheating. Okay. So thank you so much for everybody that's been here. I will just browse through. If I see some some questions that I feel we can answer before we go. Some HND holder, can I apply for master's program in Canada? Sadly, no. Yeah, because master's program in Canada, they are asking for a 4-year bachelor's program, which an HND is not. I know that in other countries like the UK, you can apply for a master's with HND, but in Canada, in most cases, you can't. Okay, so just look at the graduate certificate. You don't have to add health insurance to your SOP. Louis, I don't really understand that question. Health insurance. I don't think so. Ifeoma, did you add anything about health insurance to your SOP?
Do I have health insurance in Nigeria?
Did you add it to your SOP? You didn't need to add it.
Do I have health insurance in Nigeria that I'm adding? I didn't add any health insurance.
But you will add it. Exactly. We both have that you add. No, it's not a requirement.
It's not.
It's not a requirement. Yeah. Can a 2-2, the same thing, apply for a master's now? Did you have 2-1?
Yeah. It's dicey,
Okay, fine.
depending on.
Exactly, depending. It depends. So it is already very competitive to get master's programs in Canada. Yeah. So if you have a 2-2, you are not as competitive as those who have 2-1 and first class. Yes. If you have a 2-2 and you're applying for maybe a management program and you have work experience, you have maybe ICANN, you have other things, you can argue your case, show your work experience, show the other qualifications you have. It might work. But for the STEM programs, I doubt. You need a 2-1. It's very, very competitive. And it's not just Nigeria. People are applying from all over the world.
Yeah.
With good grades. Yeah, so it will be hard. Okay, a few more questions. Those that are coming for visiting don't have to do medicals, yeah? It's only those who are coming to stay for longer than 6 months. So medical is for any visa that is longer than 6 months. So if you're coming to just visit, you don't need the medicals. Can I change my bachelor degree course to diploma once I get to Canada? So I think you have a right to change programs in Canada. You just inform RCC that I have changed my DLI. I've changed my DLI. So if you ask me specific, there are some questions that they are consultation questions.
They should go and buy the JAPA system so they can.
So this person is saying Sunday says the long question. Most universities that you've contacted are saying that you cannot proceed with application MSc because your BSc is outside Canada. It's a lie now. Come on.
Which school?
School, exactly. Which school? Most of the universities. Did I answer that question? That's not true. I had a bachelor's from outside Canada. And informal too. You heard her say Abia State University.
And many people. I have many of our people that have my classmates. We are many from Africa. There's a video that I did with we had lunch with the professors last week, Tuesday, after class. I uploaded that video. We're about up to 10 African students. Up to 10, right? So all of them did their BSc in Nigeria.
Yeah, outside. Yeah, it's a lie. Oh, God. I am 38 years old, so I'll just answer 2 or 3 more questions and we can wrap it up. Guys, please don't forget to like, and share. Give the video a thumbs up so that I encourage Informa so that I can call her again. And don't forget to go and follow Informa. I'm going to leave the link to her Facebook page and YouTube channel in the description. Yeah, I'm going to do that afterwards. So please come back and follow her. Shall you answer my question? Olusoya Aruko. So question. What's the question? It's not there now.
Type it again. She's not seeing it again.
See it again. Can I use my brother's company account as proof of funds for sponsor? So like we said, you can use your brother. I don't know how old you are. Somebody say I'm 38 years. Can I use my uncle in the US? If you are 38, I assume that you're old enough to have money. You're your own man or your own woman. Do you understand? Even if your uncle wants to sponsor you, let them sponsor you for part of it. Yeah. Show your own money. Show that you have skin in the game as well. Yeah. Some people are coming with family and uncle is sponsoring. She's sponsoring you and your husband or your wife and 2 children. It doesn't look feasible. Yeah. Especially to these Oyibo people, they don't get it because they are very independent. So when they're like, they don't even understand why your parents are even paying for you, sir. Because here you gotta take student loan and carry your own wallet on your head. So thank you everybody that came. I'll just do one last look. Did Aluko drop his question again? No. So if you're asking a specific question, I will not answer. If they say, what is the name of your page? Does the page have a name?
Oma.
Real Oma.
You just put it on the this thing for them so that can just.
Oh, I'll put it here. Yeah. Real Oma. I'll also get the link and put it in the description. Real Oma. That's it. That's it. If I sponsor my wife, Can I also, of the family member that we go? Yes. So you can hear when the former said her husband sponsored, and of course, her husband is part of the people that traveled. So yes, you can sponsor, and of course, you can also travel with the family. You're sponsoring, you're joining yourself. Now that's how it works.
Just make sure you have enough money that cover yourself, cover your wife, cover your children, and put extra. For me,
put extra.
For me, Shay, if you are going with family, put extra, blow their mind. Don't tell them you are going with family and you have the exact amount they ask you. These people, they don't joke with children. They want those children to come here and be comfortable. They don't want to, because they know they won't start paying them. They know government will not pay these children now. So don't come here and start disturbing about the children. So they want the children to be comfortable. So when you're coming with children, if the money is supposed to be 10 million and you have access to 15, please make it 15. That's one of the things that gave us a hedge. By the time we calculated our distance, at that time, dollar was about 300. And, it amazes me. Between January and now, dollar is already times 2. Yes, official rate as at the time I did was about 350 something. And so what we did, by the time we multiply our money, we were getting about 13 or 14 million. But we'll have over 30, like blow their mind. They won't even know where to start from. When you have answered all your questions.
Start to refuse.
Yes, because I am also aware.
Because the money is there.
Yes, because I'm also aware that those visa officers have people that they account to. When they reject your visa without any reason, they also explain why this visa was rejected to their boss. Do you understand? So they don't just reject your visa. When you have answered all the questions and you've met all the requirements, it's hard. When I finish my visa application, I know that these people, let me know where they are coming from. Short, I have not traveled before. It was my first experience, Sheyi. And then because it was my first experience, I picked every post. I picked it, like when I come to home Thai, I said, I have not traveled before. However, I have not traveled because me and my husband had an agreement that we're going to build our resources here in our country for some years before we open up our traveling experience. And this we have done. We have been able to buy our own property. We have been able to build our own house. We have been able to achieve And now it's time for us to explore as a family. And because I have had this intention to study abroad and see what it looks like, and because of what I'm doing with children, I need international experience to be able to handle this well. And so I think, so I answered them why I've not traveled. They don't need to ask me again. It's my first experience traveling. I answered it.
So if the visa officer is even thinking it, as they are thinking it, you are answering them.
You're answering them.
Answering them.
Write the questions down.
The question in their head.
Write all the requirements. Treat them one after the other.
True. Answer the questions in their head. So you were asking about your question is spousal open work permit, the requirements. The requirements for spousal work, same thing as you. They have to show money. They have to show proof, home ties. They have to show that they have a spouse who is an international student and that they will be coming back. The same thing that you show, family and all that. The only difference is that you are a student and they are not. Everything you show, your spouse has to show it as well. And this person is 38 years old that want to use your uncle in USA as a sponsor. I've answered now. You can use your uncle. You can use your uncle. Just show proof of relationship. Show how this person is your uncle.
Have your uncle sent you money before?
Get
a screenshot where your uncle has sent you money before. Have your uncle been part of your life sending you money, or just all of a sudden he starts sending you money now?
Want to now pay millions for you, and then also try and have your own money, if you have a job or a business, show your own bank account. So people are like, must I show my bank account? Everything in that bank account. Are you selling drugs? Show it now. There's nothing there. Show it. I think it's almost 2 hours.
2 hours.
So to round up, people that was saying 1 hour, it's almost 2 hours. So if you have specific questions, there are some people that are asking me, I did this, I did that, what will I study? Let me advise you, just go and get the JAPA system. When you have the JAPA system, you have my contact. You can send me, if you send me email, I am obligated to answer you. So get the JAPA system. You can book an appointment with me if you have the JAPA system. It's in one of the modules. Then you can ask me all these questions. You have 30 minutes of my time, you can ask me. So go back to whoever invited you here. The JAPA system is sold by different affiliates, They will give you the link, you purchase, you get access, and then you can ask all these your specific questions, Because we have limited time, we can't answer everything. Now, one question I saw that popped up Is it advisable to get pregnant while studying? Okay, I thought you were asking if you can study, you can come to study while you're pregnant. You can get pregnant while you're studying, but don't forget that you're studying. If you give birth to that baby, are you going to be able to continue studying? That's the question. If you come pregnant and you give birth, what will happen to your studying? Always have that in mind. Some people, just before they come, they gotta get belly so that they will come and born. You know kind of thing.
You're also paying as an international student when you're giving birth. You remember that. You're not a permanent resident yet. So yeah, you can. I have a colleague, one of the people that came with me. He's in Ontario with you guys. She
Okay.
just gave birth. She came in as an intern. She's paying. She have her bills to pay. You're going to pay as an international, as somebody that came in to give birth, because your health card will not cover that.
Wow, can you imagine? Hey, now
Yeah.
wow.
So she has given birth already, and she came in pregnant. She came in like 3 months pregnant.
Wow, that's amazing.
And she has 4 girls, and this one is a boy.
A boy. Oh goodness, she has a Canadian boy. Congratulations, because her son will be a straight
The boy refused to come. He wants to be a Canadian. She has
Canadian.
You would have seen her in Choco Milo's page. They are Choco's tenants. So she has 4 girls and 1 super boy, the only Canadian in the house.
The only Canadian. Amazing. Okay, guys. I know that if we stay here for the next 1 hour, the questions will not end.
The question will keep coming.
So we've been here 2 hours, which is long enough. You can watch the replay. I'm telling you, when we were talking at the beginning, we answered most of these questions, yeah? So go and check. The most important thing is not the mistakes that we mentioned, not the ways we mentioned that you're doing those mistakes, yeah? So that you give yourself a better chance. You don't want to be wasting time, wasting money, giving yourself emotion. Do you know how emotional it is to be refused? Maybe if I wasn't refused. Me, I was refused though. I have cried this refusal tears. I was refused the first time. It is so painful. Emotionally drained. I didn't even want to do it again. But like I said, I don't know, God just blessed me with determination, a supportive spouse, supportive family, and then we tried again and it worked the second time. So I don't want you to go through all that. So go and watch the video from the beginning, the replay, like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it, yeah? Make sure you are bookmarking this one. You need to listen to it. If you are interested in studying Canada, this one video you should not throw away. So thank you so much. It was quite informative and educative. Thank you, Tina Obi. I'll bring the former again, yeah? Some other time. She's very busy, but I'll bring her again. Don't forget, Real Oma is her name on her Facebook page. Follow Informa there. I'll also put the link in the description. Thank you so much. You guys, I appreciate you. Thank you. I love all of you. Like the video, share, and I'll talk to you in the next webinar. Bye for now. Bye, everyone. Bye. Oh, okay.